Hey people, it's Teal Gamer with a video to the developers of Grim Dawn that I'll be posting on the official forum. And before I get into this, I just want to point out, if you see in the upper left corner of the screen before it disappears, I actually have tutorial tips enabled, so nobody can accuse me of not having them enabled, so I don't know what's going on. Now, the point to this video is, if the developers are going to get mad at me for giving them this video, then the developers shouldn't be in this market, because you need to be able to handle criticism on a professional level instead of throwing a temper tantrum and banning people off of the forum because you don't like what they say. Secondly, the main reason for this video is I paid you guys for a game. If this game was free, I wouldn't have made this video. But the point here is I paid you guys for a product you guys developed. You guys know how your product works. I do not. Therefore, you're supposed to explain to me how to use all the basics in your product. That is the end of discussion on that. If you can't provide instructions, or you don't provide instructions because you are under the impression that other people had no problem, so now the instruction doesn't need to be there, then you are mistaken. Regardless of what other people do or how many, the product is still supposed to contain all of the basic instructions. Not sure why you guys don't understand that, and I'm not sure why gamers try to argue with me on that, but that's not relevant. So, getting right into this. First, I'm going to explain to the forum. If your name does not, this is for the developers, okay? I'm only going to pay attention to the developer replies. So if your name does not have developer by it, I don't care what you have to say. You can post a book on everything that I'm going over in this video, and I will not read it. Secondly, if you're going to go cry on the other section of the forum that, he's asked for help, people are giving it to him, he's ignore them, especially after I just told you, I'm not going to pay attention to your reply, and then you take it upon to do it yourself and then complain, then you're an idiot, and I don't care what you have to say, because I don't. That leads me into a developer that wants to reply. I don't care what your two-bit opinion about me is, or, you're saying, well, other people had no problems, or it's pretty simple, or you think my questions are ridiculous. That's not I don't care what you have to say, I'm going to stop reading it. Your business is to only explain how to play this game to me and answer the questions I have in this, and then look at this and say, well, he may need to know this too, and something I may not need to know to ask. And the reason why, again, I'm bringing this up is because in a tutorial in the beginning of the game, when you're teaching somebody how to use your product, I refuse to do anything that isn't told to me. If I have to click something, you need to tell me to click it. If you don't tell me to click it and you make mention of it, I will never open that. I will never click a button. I will never do any research. Why? Because your game is supposed to be telling me I need to do that. Period. You can think that's dumb all you want, but that's not relevant. If you're going to get mad because I'm holding you responsible, then again, you shouldn't be in this line of work. That's all there is to it. So I'm going to get right into this because the main point of this video is the class system. I was told that at level, by everybody, including the developers, that at level 2, you not only tell the player that there's a class system in here, but how to access it. And I'm going to tell you that's not true, and then there's a few other things I'm going to address when it comes to this. So I'm just going to put test, create, and I'm going to go into the game from level 1, and I'm just going to address things as they come up. All right, first thing I'm going to get out of the way is developers, if you're getting the idea from gamers that a tooltip that comes up that has a general piece of information compared to something that says what to do in it, and gamers are saying because a tooltip has general information and then to do it, I feel bad for you because that doesn't matter. You need to stop listening to gamers explaining stupid things like this. If a gamer gets confused between a generalized piece of information and an actual instruction, then that's their problem. What they say is not relevant to you putting instructions in the game. Alright, so I'm going to address this. You unlocked a rift gate. So you're letting me know I unlocked a rift gate, and L allows me to create a portal, which you can use to teleport to the rift gates found throughout the world. Okay, so I'm going to press L. You just basically opened a tutorial for this. I'm going to press L. Alright. Now, when I pressed L, you gave me another tooltip. Use the personal rift gate to open the world map and select a rift gate to travel to. Okay, now, before I click this, because you gave me two pieces of information, I'm expecting when I click on it, number one, the world map is automatically going to be open. I shouldn't have to screw with that. And if it doesn't, you need to tell me the instructions on how to get to the world map. Secondly, you need to explain what a rift gate looks like on the map. I don't care if somebody knows what a rift gate looks like in front of them. If you don't explain what the rift gate icon looks like on the map, then it's not explained, and I want an explanation of that. And I don't care what anybody says. Okay. Gamers taking, I'm going to point out to you developers that somehow you think it's okay to not explain what a rift gate looks like because a gamer decides to take it upon themselves, hover their mouse over everything and all this other stuff. No. Now I'm going to tell you, by looking at this map, there's no rift gate icons on this map. And you know why? Because you didn't say what a rift gate icon looks like. So I can sit and say Devil's Crossing is that little red icon below by the map because that's what the wording is, or it could be up by the river. I don't know. The bottom line here is you didn't tell me what a rift gate icon looks like on the map, and I don't care if you think that's dumb. That's a gameplay basic, so you didn't finish explaining how to use the rift gates. You only said you can open it, but you didn't say what it looks like, and you need to. And I expect an explanation.
You're
not
looking too bad for someone just the
I
bodies
paid
of
you
the
for
dead
this,
are rising again.
and I tell you what you need to tell me, not what you feel like putting in there.
You will need to.
All right, so now I'm going to go out, and I'm just going to keep addressing things as I come up. So I'm going to fight to level 2. And when I get to level 2, like everybody says, all right, so potions. Potions have a long cooldown, but they can be used to quickly restore your health or energy. Now, to drink a potion, click on the potion icon in the skill bar or press the assign hotkey. Okay, so now you basically said if I want to drink a potion, I click on it. So you gave me an instruction in there. Now, I saw what a potion icon looked like. I saw what the potion looked like. So now I can click on it or, whatever. So even if you didn't explain to me about the hotbar, which you should have, the fact of the matter is I know what a potion looks like, and I can look for the potion icon. So I can see down here that you just basically told me that this is a hotbar without telling me it, and that this is the potion icon, and if I want to, I can click on it. Simple as that. So you gave a learning curve. That's fine. Now I'm just going to keep going. Because, again, there's a few other things I'm going to address in here. All right. I'm going to point out that if you want to tell a generic piece of information, that's one thing. But if you don't tell somebody what to do with that generic piece of information, then you're at fault because you're at fault for somebody not knowing. Fast regen. Constitution is converted into health. When out of combat, allowing you to regenerate quickly between fights while your constitution lasts. Okay, so you're just letting me know that. Alright, so let's go in here and continue doing this. I guess I gotta walk around here. I guess I gotta find people. Here we go. I'm just gonna keep fighting here. Because again, I'm not gonna pause the camera and have somebody say, well, you picked it up after the instruction was given. I'm just gonna keep going until I hit level 2. Now, I'm going to point out that if you put a piece of information behind another screen and then only have that information after the screen is filled up and you only point to a screen, making the player aware that that screen exists, whatever is in that screen, if you did not tell the player previous to them opening it, then you didn't explain it no matter what you say. And I'll get to what I'm saying in a second. Okay, leveling. When you level up, you gain skill and attribute points, which can be assigned to the skill and character windows. Okay, so you let me know that this, I have, when you level up, okay, so I leveled up, so I clearly have skill and attribute points that I can assign in the skill and attribute window, right? Okay, so now I'm just going to go back into town so I don't get attacked and point out a few things. Number 1, I want the instruction on where the skill window is. Number 2, I want the instruction on where the character window is. You put it up so it should automatically come up right now in that section. To access the skill window, press this or do this. To access the character window, press this and do this. Now, whether or not I choose to do those two things isn't relevant because now I'm going to bring up the class system, which is the main point of this video. Everybody in the developers stated, when you reach level 2, you are told about that that not only is there a class system in the game, you're told how to access it. That is a lie. You told me that there were skills and attribute points Why couldn't you tell me that there were classes? And to further point this out, what I said earlier about hiding things behind another window and then directing the player to the window is not telling the player anything about such as the case in this case is classes. So let me explain. Let's say you put the class system behind the character screen. Just because you tell me there's a character screen, and then if I click that, the skills pop up over that, doesn't mean you told me about the class system. You pointed to the character screen and made me aware of it. Nowhere did you mention prior to that there's a class system. So if let's say the class system is when you open the character screen, the after the fact doesn't matter. That's not explaining something no matter what you say. It doesn't matter whether it comes up on the screen afterwards. You did not explain how to get to the class screen. You only simply pointed to the character screen and said, you have attribute points you can spend on this screen. If you have the class screen inside or off of one of the other screens, such as the skill or the character screen, you need to say, classes are also accessed off of this in the tooltip. Because if you don't, you have not explained to the player the class system. Now, the fact of the matter is, I refuse to click buttons on this because you're going to tell me how to open the skills window, you're going to tell me how to open the character window or whatever it is, you're going to tell me where these points are I have to assign, and you're going to tell me how to get to the class system. You're going to tell me where it is, and you're going to tell me exactly how to access it. I'm demanding this information because I paid you for a game. Now, the only reason I know about the class system is, I'm bringing this up, is because people keep saying it, so I have outside knowledge that it exists. Otherwise, if I didn't have any outside knowledge it existed, I would never know it's in the game because you never told me about it. You told me about skills, and you told me about character. Now, let's say for sake of conversation I wanted a challenge, and I didn't feel like adding attribute points or skill screen. Even if you told me where those were, and you hid the class screen into one of those, and I didn't feel like opening it, once again, you have failed to do your job by making me aware that there is a class system in this game and how to get to it because you hid it. And if I didn't feel like opening that, guess what? That's my choice. But you can't hide something and say it's my fault for not opening those because you didn't make me aware that what you put behind those screens is hidden. That is your fault I wouldn't know that. You cannot blame a player for this. And I'm sick and tired of players stating just because a game makes you aware of something or says, you have this, that the game is telling you to do it and that automatically means this. That's a gamer opinion. Preference and opinion about what somebody chooses to do has nothing to do with the fact that you did not make a player aware that this is in the game. Period. I want the explanations to everything that I've gone over so far, and I only want to hear it from developers. And I want straight up the answers. Your 2-bit opinion about me doesn't matter. I don't care if you're mad about this. I paid you for a game. I demand it be explained. That is your job. You got paid to do it by me. I expect you to do it. Period. I'm not getting into this with people.